All right, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome back. We're back from our little summer hiatus.
Little vacay.
We had ourselves a little well-deserved summer break, even though both of us were actually still working.
Yep, full employed.
Full working.
9 to 5.
Well, I'm not a 9 to 5. Actually, I'm teaching summer school. And I know. No, I'm working with little kids for it, and it's elementary kids, so kids going into first grade to kids going into fifth grade. And it's really different from what I teach normally. But anyways, nobody cares. But it's nice because it's just 8:30 to 11:30 Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So it's just a nice little
How long is yours?
summer gig. Mine only goes till the end of July.
Oh, yeah. So Dylan, obviously,
Yeah.
friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
He teaches summer school, my bestie. And
Is he a teacher in real life too?
Yeah, IRL.
Really?
Yeah, high school.
Oh, we'll have to talk more.
Yeah, he's a high school teacher.
I don't want to out
Did
him
you know
on the
I was
pod.
going to originally going to school to be a
I
teacher?
do remember that because you
Okay.
went to Bridgewater.
Yes. Go Bears.
Go Bears. Just two state school girlies, by the way.
Two state
Go
school,
Bears, go
public
Framingham
school.
Rams. I was not a public school girl, but I'm sure you could tell that by my general demeanor.
Yeah. Well, I started in private school.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
I did like public school, middle school.
Oh, yeah.
My mom was like, either you go to Medford High or you're not going to college.
Right.
So
that's that.
there I didn't go to Arlington Catholic.
Hey, well, we would have been rivals if you did, because I went to good old Archbishop Williams High School.
Oh.
Archbishop Williams, home of the Bills. Roll Bills, as they say.
But anyways, his last day of summer school's tomorrow.
Yeah, mine is the 28th, which shall be nice. Because I know some people who go into like late August, but
I know.
that's not for me. I need the month of August to decompress. And actually, my husband just got a new job, so he's taking a couple weeks off in August. So we'll have some time to.
Oh, I saw that. I was going to.
Do some fun
Congrats.
things. Yeah.
In the kitchen. You're booked
the kitchen,
busy.
yeah.
You have a lot going on personally.
Yeah, let's just get on in because we got a lot going on personally. I'm playing The Sims with my kitchen. It's moving quite fast. My husband got a new job. You can't see if you're watching the YouTube because the angle is better for us, but I am currently wearing a walking boot.
And spoiler alert, we
Spoiler
didn't
alert.
hit 200 followers, but we'll let you know
We
now.
will tell you.
That
We posted a poll and it said which of the two of us landed in the ER over the 4th of July weekend. And here's the big reveal. Shockingly, it was not Mike.
It was not me.
It was me.
It was not me.
It was me. I was out on the boat with my friends, having a couple laughs, having a couple drinks, and actually through no fault of my own, which is shocking because I'm a clumsy girl. I have no social grace.
I would say I fall in the Claudie department as well.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm not very dainty, if you would. And I was out on the boat and we were just messing around and we hit a big wave and I went completely airborne and just came right down on my ankle. And my husband does not like gross things or like any sort of bodily whatever. And his face went like completely white. And he was like, I swear to God, like when you stand up, your bone is going to be sticking out of your foot. Like I'm convinced.
No, that like is all like when I think of like those like ESPN highlights of like basketball games, I'm always like,
I swear to God, that's what he thought.
Looking with like my finger.
Yes.
Like,
You're like, I want to see it, but I don't want to see it that bad.
Yeah, I can't.
And that's what he thought my foot was going to look like. Thankfully, I then spent, 3 hours in Cape Cod Hospital in a wet bathing suit. So if the foot didn't kill me, the pending UTI was going to from sitting in a wet bathing suit in the ER for 3 hours. But I lived to the dismay of many haters. I am here and I survived to tell the tale.
God.
So I'm in a boot for a couple weeks, but I couldn't drive for a while. And that was just an absolute true and genuine nightmare.
But there's a silver lining.
Yep.
Tell everyone what you did while you were on the couch.
What did I do?
I gave you a homework assignment and you've delivered on it.
Yeah, I did. I watched so much RuPaul's Drag Race. It was actually not even funny. I sped through it.
Yeah.
Sped through it.
So do we love it?
No, I'm obsessed. And I actually, like Twitter's algorithm to like tell me things about myself is actually uncanny. And I saw a tweet right after I started watching Drag Race that said, RuPaul's Drag Race is Coco Melon for adults.
So true.
And it's actually the truest statement I've ever heard. Like the colors, the lights, the jokes, the
so
songs.
Good.
It's amazing. And it's the perfect show to just absolutely binge.
Yeah. And it's like so mindless.
It's so mindless in the best way possible.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm loving it. I have been very much enjoying that. So that's what I've been up to. And then revamping my kitchen, playing The Sims. And what else? I feel like there was something else, but...
You bought us our new decor.
I did. I got us some new decor for the YouTubers.
We have a pink fleece blanket now.
And some pillows, some throw pillows.
Yep.
And we actually got new mics if you're also watching as a YouTube.
I know, you can probably see my face this time.
Yep. Yeah, because you were, yours was always angled a little.
Blocked off.
It was giving Mike Wazowski.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Face for radio.
Yeah. But now we're here. What's been new with you? What's poppin'?
Not much for me. I feel like it's just been like work, Bravo, tanning. Oh, I was at a wedding. So
yeah.
I had like a gorge wedding over the weekend.
Where?
Newport.
Oh, you know what? I saw that.
And it was my friend.
The bride's dress was stunning.
Oh yeah, of course. It was, I'm pretty sure, custom made, took 16 months, and it was Vera Wang.
She is an icon, and I love her.
And like the venue, so it was at the Rose Cliff Mansion in Newport.
Wow.
And it, like, the whole thing I kept thinking was like there was no other venue that like could handle that dress.
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
Like I just pictured like imagine like the only like local venue I'd think would maybe be like Boston Park Plaza, but like anything else like the venue just could not carry the dress.
No, I think that was like, it was literally perfect. Every picture I saw, I was like, wow.
Yeah, and it was perfect. I kept making jokes because we were like basically like at their table. We were like to the left of the sweetheart table. And I kept calling everyone we were with them, like, we're the content table. We're here for candids. We're basically like, she's paid for us to be here. And like, so that's why I kept like, took pictures of the chandelier.
Well, the content was premium, honestly.
All of that for her.
It was premium.
But it was fun. The best part, though, was she walked down the aisle to Think About You by Frank Ocean. And it was such a vibe. Oh, my God.
That's
gorgeous.
Such a vibe. That is literally gorgeous. I love that.
Yeah.
When we got married, I really wanted to, when we were like walking in after like at the start of this reception, like when everything's like starting to get fun or whatever, I really wanted to do, and my cousin actually did this first, and I wanted to steal it because it was so cool, but we had a band, so they wouldn't let us. But I wanted all of us, me, my parents, my bridesmaids, the groomsmen, like I wanted everybody to walk in together to Click by Kanye West, when it's just like, ain't nobody fucking with my click, and have it just like doors open, we come in. But instead, I, ever the theatric woman that I am, walked into
We Can't Stop the Beat by Hairspray.
That actually was stuck in my head this morning, and I legitimately could not get it out. So that's a great guess. That is a great guess. But no, we actually walked into another iconic movie musical. We walked into like the part from The Greatest Showman, and it's like, this is the greatest show.
Cute.
Boom, doors open. There we are.
Played that?
Yeah, they just played the
beat.
The beat to it. But it was kind of sickening, honestly.
Cute.
That's that, and
now we're here.
But I'm glad we're back. But I'm glad we took a little bit of a break because nothing was really happening.
Yeah, and now we have like, I feel like we have a full like buffet of pop culture to like dive into. Mm-hmm. So
a real sampler.
I feel like our first and foremost is we have an unofficial friend of the pod. Her name is Dumois, and I don't feel like I was shocked that more than one person had messaged us what it is.
Being like, who is this person that you always mention, Dumois?
So we will share their profile in our story when like the episode drops, just so you can follow it if you're not following it already. But it's real life Gossip Girl. Like, so
it's spelled Deuxmoi, Dumois. So it's like, and apparently I don't speak French, but I believe it means like to me, which I think means like it's supposed to be like a two-faced thing, like the second version of me or something like that. But I definitely recommend following because basically it, like Mike said, it's real life Gossip Girl. They're always just posting hints and tips that they've heard about certain people, certain celebrities, and they're posting like
TV
blind
shows
items
coming up. They're posting like
behind the
celebrity
scenes
partnerships.
Yeah.
So like a perfect segue into our second topic about Bennifer, the rekindling, which we can thank Southern Charm for that whole thing. All roads lead back to Bravo.
So true.
But they posted like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago that like basically invites and NDAs went out.
Yep.
So like, and they were like hinting at like a rekindled couple. Like, so they basically, it's like a Batman Riddler and like we kind of have to decode it. It's like,
But they're usually pretty easy to decode.
Totally.
Well, not always, but some of them are.
Some of them are, because so also like how they get sent in is a lot of it's like email based. It's like someone who maybe is working behind the scenes. So like, then it'll be like, Anon, please. But the email is like, Jenny from the block at yahoo.com.
Right.
And then it'll give you like the full meat and potatoes of like whatever the gossip is. And like you kind of like take the context and like, it's like a puzzle. It's like honestly the best puzzle. I can't do Wordle, but I can uncode Dumois.
Right. Like it's honestly like Gossip Girl, how like everybody had a nickname like Lonely Boy, like
Little
S&B, Little J. It's kind of like that. So if you do not follow Dumois, I highly recommend it because there's been some scalding tea on there recently. Some of which we'll definitely get into, but.
And then my favorite is the Sunday dump of where everyone was over the weekend. It's like spotted. It's like very Gossip
It's literally
Girl.
Sunday
like,
spotted.
Like Charlie Puth was spotted in Chatham for a wedding on last weekend.
I heard it was his sister, actually.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is cool. But yeah, he was in Chatham. And then like there was a bunch of Zendaya sightings like on Newberry Street when she was filming that tennis movie. And
rumor has it the new Spider-Man spinoff with Sydney Sweeney and Dakota Johnson is also filming here.
Really?
Yeah, because she was spotted in Boston a couple weekends ago.
Sydney Sweeney was? Yep. Ugh, I love her.
Emmy nom.
Oh yeah, she did get an Emmy nom.
For both White Lotus and Euphoria.
You know what? I never watched White Lotus. Should I?
Yes.
Okay. Is it scary?
No, it's so good.
Okay,
it's
I'll
like
watch it.
Watch it and come back.
Okay. Don't tell me twice. I'm always looking for something to watch.
Season 2's they just dropped it in like the HBO Max like teaser of like things that's coming.
Okay.
And season 2 has Audrey Plaza and a couple other good ones. And no, you'll love it.
Wait, there was some other teaser that just dropped that now I can't remember. Oh, the Aspen Beverly Hills. But we can talk about that. We'll get there. Anyway, so Dumois, give it a follow. So if you always are hearing us talk about Dumois and you're like, what the hell are they talking about?
That's it. They're
Dumois.
our source of truth.
They really are. And honestly, I would say 8 or 9 times out of 10, like when they tell us something, it's pretty factually correct.
And they like will cross-reference too. They'll be like, this is false. We know because of XX. So they're not like just posting all willy-nilly. They're not like wicked. I like think if it comes from people or Dumois, it's true.
Yep. I agree. That's exactly how I feel. And speaking about, topics that have been broken in the news recently, let's just dive on into the Khloe Kardashian of it all.
Mess. Oh my God.
Because that was certainly.
I can't even believe it's like still a headline for her.
You know what? At first I was like, you look dumb. You look so dumb. And now how
do you feel now?
I do feel bad for her. I do. Because, yes, she was dumb to consider having a second child with him. I think that was obviously her first mistake. But when you're that desperate to have a baby and you want that life for your child.
I'm not mad at her for that.
No. I'm not mad at her for that part either. I'm not mad at her, but I think that she could have just like used like a sperm donor or something. Yeah, it probably would have been a better choice. But I understand the need to want to have your child with the same man twice. I get that. I'm not mad at her for that. That's why I'm saying I feel bad for her. I think it's an unfortunate scenario that Tristan third trimester Thompson strikes again.
Seriously. It is like, I just feel
damn
like
clockwork.
Ringling Brothers just needs to hire her because she is just poor Boo Boo the Fool. Like I feel like every time she like goes to contour, she's just throwing on clown makeup because she keeps looking so
she does
bad.
And I feel bad that she looks bad.
I know, and I feel bad that like her first thought when like the news broke about the other baby, like the first like the last one that like we caught at the end
in
of the
December,
Kardashians. She like her first thought was like they're gonna eat me alive because they already started this process.
Right.
Like that's like where like as fans I feel like we can't like have an opinion. I feel bad.
No, I know.
But like we're gonna talk about it.
Right. When the news dropped at first, I thought most people thought, because the timelines were a little hairy at the beginning, most people thought that she went ahead and did this anyways, knowing that he was having another baby with somebody else, and that would have been unforgivable.
Also, like, wouldn't put it past her.
No, I know. But I think that would have made her look even worse. But I think once it came out that, the news of Tristan happened in December, and, the baby is I heard the baby's here. I read that somewhere.
I heard the baby's here. I heard it's a boy.
Oh, really?
Well, because the baby that which baby are we talking about? So he had a boy.
The surrogate's baby.
He had a boy with the other girl, right?
Yeah.
So if we go back now and rewatch it, you see that clip?
I did see the clip.
So
the clip that we're talking about,
is Kim is like, it's like right news broke about Kristen having a child with the other woman back in December.
Tristan,
sorry.
Kristen with a K, as if he's because he's a Kardashian.
Seriously.
I get it.
Tristan had that other baby, and Kim's first reaction is Chloe wanted a boy.
Right.
And so like that, they were already starting that, like, that's why like Kim and Kylie, I think she's on the phone with, are like spiraling about it because they were like, they know something we don't know, which is this. So I'm pretty sure Chloe did the boy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, I hadn't heard that. I just heard that maybe the baby is already born.
I heard the baby's, like, I think the baby's here too.
Yeah. And that would make more sense that this process had been in the works for weeks to early months once Chloe found out that all of this was happening. And she, once again, was made to be the fool. And I feel bad for that, but
totally.
Miss Chloe, a tiger doesn't change its stripes.
I know, girl.
Take a look at this man.
I heard she's with like a hedge fund guy now.
Good, like
and
she really
keeps
needed.
Saying that this is like going out of her comfort zone because he's not an athlete.
Okay, good. That's what she needed. And then I saw, since we're on the topic of Kardashians, but I hate when podcasts turn into like just talking about the Kardashians like over and over and over. So I just want to say one last thing and then we can move on. But I saw a little theory somewhere. Kylie's been posting all these pictures recently where, like, this was maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, she was wearing all white and everybody else around her was wearing all black. And they were like out, like hitting the town somewhere or something. And she was wearing like a huge ring. And I saw a little speculation that perhaps it was a bachelorette party for Miss Kylie.
Really?
Which honestly would surprise me because her and Travis are so on and off. Cameras are rolling. That is true. That throws a wrench into things. I'm excited to see the Kim and Pete of it all.
Yeah, that's
like that one clip.
Season 2, what comes out September?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how fast they're going.
Me too.
Bravo needs to get turnaround times like that because I want to watch Summer House now.
No, we have Winter House.
It's not enough.
I know. True.
So that's that. So anyways, Chloe, girl, we feel for you.
We are caught up on the Kardashians.
We feel for Chloe. So we talked about Chloe and Tristan. We mentioned a little bit about Ben and J-Lo, but I think
Jennifer Affleck, part deux.
Part deux, truly. I'm happy for them. I think she deserves this.
I am, and this is like,
maybe it's just the Boston girl in me, but like I always fucking hated A-Rod.
Yeah, so we like I love that Boston's winning. I love, obsessed with Ben. I'm obsessed with him. I
think, and people are going to come for me for this, but I think it was a great, even if this is not a PR thing, which I'm not saying it is, I think it was a great PR move for him because he was Mr. Down in the Dumps for a while. He was unwell. I think this was
the cigarette hanging out of his mouth. The Dunkin'. Oh my God, obsessed.
I think this was the right move for him for sure. So
yeah, glammed him up a little bit.
Yeah, and it makes him more likable.
You see his kid just crashed a car?
No.
Oh yeah, they were like, I forget the.
How old is their kid?
He was playing in.
No.
Yeah, I want to say it was like a Ferrari or like a expensive car, and like backs into one. Like this was like 2 weeks before the wedding, I guess, because I guess there's an article that just came out that said like Ben was like spiraling like two days before the wedding, like just like stress. Like he like yelled at whatever movie he's filming, like yelled at a coworker.
Really? Well, I read some interesting stuff about like that not all of their kids were there.
It almost gave like did they like do Vegas?
I heard it was Vegas. That is what I heard. I think more details will be forthcoming, but that's what Dumois said, it was Vegas, and then I read somewhere else that it was Vegas. I don't know. J-Lo has this really weird not weird. I mean, no disrespect to J-Lo, but she has like a newsletter, and that's how she sends out like all of her info to her fans, which, I mean, get those numbers up, girl. Like, I'm sure people subscribed when they heard, because she dropped the news in the newsletter, like signing it like Jennifer Affleck.
And she confirmed, like, she changed her name. He should have changed it to Ben Lopez.
I totally agree.
Why is she giving it up?
I'm with you. I'm a modern woman, and I think
that tattoo better get removed too.
Oh yeah, I do feel for Jennifer Gardner. I hope she's found peace.
I love her too.
Me too. I hope that she's unaffected by this. I hope she's.
I feel like she is.
I think she's probably fine.
Like, so I feel like they've been divorced forever.
When did they get divorced? Let me look it up. I feel like they've been divorced for a while. When did
she start doing those Chase Blue commercials?
Those Chase Blue commercials. When did Jennifer and Ben?
I think why do I feel like 2016?
They divorced in 2018.
Ooh, okay.
That's a lot sooner than I remember, honestly.
Seriously.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would have thought way earlier than that. Well, you know why? Because she was still such a good ex-wife. She like dropped him off to rehab in like 2019.
Yeah, she's a nice woman, and I hope he's doing well, and I hope Matt
Damon was there.
Oh, I'm sure he was, and I'm sure Leo was there.
I don't know.
Yeah, didn't they do a movie together?
I feel like Leo wouldn't have made the cut.
Well,
but anyways, good for them. Mazel.
Yeah, I'm happy for them. Yeah. Congratulations.
Congrats.
I think that's great. And now we're on to something that's a little niche. It's a little niche, but
not if you've been listening.
Nah, not if you've been following us and you know us.
It's been a reoccurring hot item.
But if you are not engrossed in the Broadway world, then you just wouldn't know. So let's talk about the funny girl of it all. Mike has some sort of crazy intuition. I not call it? No, he did. Mike knew that this was coming, and we talked about it on, I want to say it was either episode 1 or 2. Yeah. Like, it's an early ep where Mike predicts that this was going to happen. And let me just back up for all of those who have no idea what the hell we're talking about. So news broke last week, a week and a half ago, that the Broadway revival of Funny Girl, which is, for those of you who don't know, a musical has been revived on Broadway. It was originally starring Barbra Streisand, and it's a great, fantastic musical. I'm a big fan. And everybody knows the song, Don't Rain on My Parade. Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putta. And I definitely sang that for like an audition or two back in high school when I was a theater kid, but I don't have the range, but I thought I did, and nobody wanted to tell me that, so it's fine. But so they revived this musical, and when they were deciding who was going to star in it as Fanny Brice, they picked Beanie Feldstein. And it's worth noting that Fanny Brice is, canonically in the history of this play, is a Jewish woman. So they wanted somebody with a Jewish background to represent that. And they picked Beanie Feldstein. And according to some people, it was a bop. According to others, it was a flop.
Who gave bop?
You know what? People that I know personally that saw it said it was good. She just didn't have the range that Barbra Streisand did. I guess the acting was good.
I heard she landed every joke and was great for comedic bits, but couldn't deliver, lyrically. And I get that.
nobody has the range that Barbara Streisand does. Those are
Lea
big.
Michele does.
Well, we can talk about that. But I think they were big shoes to fill, and they expected a lot of Beanie. And so Beanie the ticket sales were a little down. Something happened. Nobody really knows the truth of what happened. But one day last week, or a week and a half ago, there was, an announcement on the Funny Girl. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Beanie posted first and said, I'm going to be leaving Funny Girl earlier than anticipated after a series of, I think they said like directorial choices that she said taking
they were like
the direction that production, yeah.
The production's bringing it into a different direction. Keyword there, direction. And she basically wrapped up her contract. I think it like ends on Sunday instead of she's supposed to go to September. Mm-hmm. Then Funny Girl IG is like we have a big announcement
coming tomorrow. And there had been speculation for a long time that some people had wanted, some people did not want Lea Michele for this role, because if you were a Gleek, you know that in Glee, Lea Michele, Rachel Berry, her dream was always to play Fanny Bryce in Funny Girl.
And she does it on Glee. She did end up doing it in Glee. They revive it and she gets the job. And she gets the
role and everything's hunky-dory. And she does a beautiful rendition of Don't Rain on My Parade. I will admit that. That is one thing that I will admit. So everybody had been speculating that maybe it's going to be Lea that they're going to replace Beanie with, what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah.
I would say Lea Michele would not have gotten this role if HBO did not bring out that Spring Awakening documentary that made people remember how talented she was.
Completely agree. And made people forget
how
bad of a human she is. Yes.
So like the Spring Awakening doc helped, and then it got her to present at the Townies this year. And
to bring it back to Dumois, but Dumois did speculate that a big reason for the Spring Awakening doc was to kind of revive her image that had been quite tarnished.
Very, so bad.
For good reason, by the way.
Yeah, and if you're not a full Gleek like us, Lea Michele got canceled in the height of 2020 with everything for being awful to her Glee castmates. Even ones that weren't just extras. She was evil to extras, but even evil to
Naya Rivera,
Mercedes, Amber Riley, and then as she got dragged in Red for Filth, no one came to defend her.
Nobody.
It was
not a single soul came out being Lea is such a kind person and a good-hearted soul.
Yeah, they were
nobody said that.
Nobody said that.
Not a single person.
Not a soul. Crickets.
So it was rough out there for Lea Michele for a while. So the Spring Awakening doc came out, and I have to say, because we all know I was a theater kid, Spring Awakening is so much of the reason why I turned out the way that I am. I had no right seeing that musical when I was in 9th grade, but there I was singing along. And if you're not familiar with Spring Awakening, definitely familiarize yourself. It won the Tony for Best Musical, I believe, back when it came out. It's her, Jonathan Groff. It's a great cast.
She originated it,
She did. She was the original Broadway cast. It's a really interesting but albeit fucked up play. Yeah. It's very good. But I had no right. It's pretty graphic in terms of sexuality and things like that. But it's all about it's a coming of age story. And anyways, if you're interested in it, definitely check it out and check out the documentary, I guess, if you feel like giving Lea Michele the redemption arc that she does not deserve.
She doesn't, but the voice, I can't. I'm so excited for her.
Corny, lame, boo. So anyways, they came out and they announced that Lea Michele will be replacing Beanie Feldstein on the Broadway revival of Funny Girl starting in September. Yep. And one of my cousins actually just got tickets where she's going to Harry Styles and to see that in the same weekend. You know who you are.
Ticket sales have already
they're skyrocketing.
Increased.
But I just think
basically what I saw, because there's a TikToker that basically unpacks Broadway data, and for Funny Girl, to break even, they had to make a profit of like $800K a week. And they were like at like
6K?
600. And
Oh my
so,
God.
like,
I thought you meant 6,000.
So they
I was
were
like,
like, it was like,
what?
if they didn't like originally, like it was like being forecasted to like get pulled from Broadway like October, November-ish, and now it's gone into 2023.
Interesting.
Because putting Leah as the face has now brought ticket sales up.
And then another thing that contributed to this theory of hatred towards Leah Michele is Jane Lynch, who plays Sue Sylvester in Glee, who is an absolute icon, and I love her. She's honestly one of my idols. I love Jane Lynch. That's how Sue sees it. I say that about everything all the time, and my students are like, why are you saying that? And I'm like, you'll never understand. It was a different era. It was a different generation. And so apparently, so Jane Lynch is in Funny Girl right now.
She plays Fanny's mom.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah.
And when Leah announced that she was coming, Jane announced her departure early so that her time with Leah would not overlap. And I think people were like, yes, a Glee reunion.
Yeah,
and Jane was like,
Leah Michelle's about to create an environment that is so toxic. I'm out of here.
Like, 100%.
Anyways.
So I think, a lot of people, there was controversy. Team Beanie or Team Leah? I am team anybody but Leah, actually. But, maybe she's changed.
I guess for me, how did you I thought just like Rachel Berry was such a twat that like, how could you expect Leah Michele not to be? Like, right. I feel like there was to me,
everybody knew she was a bad person. Like, I don't know why, not that I don't know why anybody was surprised when it came out. I know why people are surprised because she tried to give herself this redemption arc preemptively.
I felt like we all just accepted she was
we all just
evil.
knew that she was a bad person. Yeah. And that's no surprise. And if Jane Lynch doesn't like you, as Justin Bieber once said, my mama don't like you and she likes everyone. Jane Lynch likes everybody. If she doesn't like Leah Michele, then that is quite telling, if you ask me. So we'll see how it goes. I think it'll definitely be interesting. The content really keeps flowing with that. It just kind of keeps coming.
Yeah, I can't wait. All eyes are pressed for September 6th.
I never wish for somebody's downfall, but I kind of hope it flops. Like, I just for the drama of it. It is
not gonna flop. I'm telling you.
Well,
she knows she's too much riding on it, and
yeah, you know what? You're right, because she knows that this is her one chance at redemption.
Yep. And I think,
some people forget, but I'll never forget.
And I think the catch-22 with this is because God doesn't give with both hands. Like, she will do well in this role, but she cannot win a Tony for it.
No.
Oh, because only Beanie is eligible for nominations.
Yeah.
So even if now it skyrockets and it does so well, Leah cannot get nominated for anything.
Well, okay, that makes it a little bit better, because if she got a Tony,
no, she can't.
Ugh, I would be up in arms.
That's the catch. It's we'll give you this, but you can't get that.
We'll see how it goes. I wish Beanie the best.
Yeah, Beanie will do great. She just got engaged.
I did see that.
I'm sure she has some other stuff up her sleeve.
Oh, I'm sure. I can't wait until Beanie writes a tell-all book about this.
I can't wait for Ryan Murphy to do a Leah Michele Beanie feud.
Oh, you're so right.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be tea. Wow. Yeah, because they're definitely feuding now. If they weren't before.
They weren't before.
The girls are fighting.
Although, Beanie, I feel do you remember when it first came out, everyone was like, has Leah Michele reached out to you? And she literally was like, I don't know who that is. And
Icon behavior.
And now she does.
Well, yeah, of course.
But yeah.
So we shall see. Only time will tell. I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out for sure.
Showbiz, baby.
That is showbiz, baby.
And now, I mean, our multiverse, Bravo.
Yep.
There has been so much within the last...
Our multiverse. It really is. I actually saw this TikTok the other day by this guy, Kyle Prue, who I love. I don't know if you've ever seen his TikToks, but he makes this series and it's how to piss off men.
Yeah.
And he did one that I think of all the time. And it was when a guy cat calls you be like, sorry, I don't have any change.
Oh, I love that. I love when I see like, so there was a girl who like stitched that and was like, guys, I did it. And I said it to him in front of everyone. And he like, all his friends laughed. I like loved that.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I don't have any change. I would die.
Wait, okay. So he did one time and it was like, when somebody says that they're like a Marvel fan or whatever, be like, oh, so you're like a Disney adult. And I feel like you say that to the wrong man and they're going to be quite upset.
Well, I feel like if we know the podcast with Lady Efron and.
Oh yeah. BNC Makeup Podcast.
Yep. So did you see when they said, when he's a 10, but she's a 10, but she only, every time you listen to music, it's the Glee cover.
Yeah.
And he
still a 10.
He said it's a 6. It's not a real deal breaker, but like a Glee adult's like a Disney adult.
That's tea. I feel attacked.
Did you see the TikTok that was Glee? Oh, I posted it on our thing.
Yeah.
Glee is like Kids Bop.
It is, yeah.
And it really is when you like think about it that way.
Can I be, I need to be vulnerable for a second. Here's a fun fact about me that I try not to talk about too often, but I feel like it needs to come out now that we're talking about Disney adults. When I was a sophomore in college, did the Disney college program.
No, Abby.
Yeah.
No.
That's a true story. I was not an RA, but I did do the Disney college program.
I didn't even clock you for a Disney girl.
So I didn't clock myself for it because I left after 2 weeks.
Oh, you quit the Disney program?
Yeah, I could never be employed by the Disney company again, actually. That's a fun fact for you.
Thank God you don't want to call Mickey Mouse your boss.
No, but like I could never work for like ESPN or anything because I am like, when you quit the program, you basically get like blackballed. And it's like, if you ever want to work for Disney again, like you would have to do like an affidavit that says like, I'm sorry that I quit
you had
that
us
one
in
time.
like the maid's quarters for $7.50 an hour.
That's exactly what it was like.
That's why I quit. It'd be real different if I had a cushy job at Hulu.
Oh, 100%.
Like what like.
No, it was when we can get into it. Like we can do a whole episode about my Disney experience and my family. It's still a running joke. And my family, like, Abby, like, remember that semester that you did in Disney for 2 weeks? Because I was too scared to go abroad. I hate traveling. And especially I hate traveling alone.
So this was like
So I was like, let me just do something a little adventurous, something a little bit different. And I got there and I was like literally working 14-hour days, making genuinely bare like minimum wage there, which at the time was probably like $8 an hour.
Yeah. This
and
like
your paycheck. Yeah. They take your like housing costs out of your paycheck. So when I was getting a paycheck, it was like $9 and I had to try to live on it. I had no car. I had 7 roommates. Yeah. And I actually do still talk to some of my roommates. They're great people, but I was like,
sick.
This is not for me. I'm not having a good time and I will not be here long. Yeah. And then I quit and I went home. Because I ended up in the ER. Did you have to take the
semester off because of that?
No, so I was doing my classes online, thankfully. But I ended up in the ER because I was like so anxious and like miserable about the whole thing that I straight up just ended up in the ER because I was like, I have to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And that's that. So,
that is
but anyways,
sick.
Back to our metaverse.
Yeah.
Metaverse. So,
Bravo.
Multiverse.
Multiverse.
What's the difference between a multiverse and a metaverse?
Metaverse is Facebook. Multiverse is like different dimensions, different universes. I want to watch the movie.
Okay. I will be watching the Marvel movies because Harry Styles is apparently getting a Marvel movie.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
Oh, are you a Marvel boy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're all revealing some vulnerable things about us today.
I don't like to talk about, but I love Marvel.
Wow. Look at you. That's so masculine of you.
I know. Thanos' brother, and he got teased at the end of Eternals.
I know, because like 12 people texted me, because if there's one thing about me, it's that I'm a Harry Styles girly. 12 people texted me and were like, oh my God, Harry Styles was at the end of this movie. Like, he's getting a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I don't think it started yet, but like that's how they're dropping his character.
I don't know when he would have the time. He's on tour right now. He's so busy. And then he goes back on tour at the end of the month when I'm going to go see him. But speaking of Harry Styles, one last thing about Harry Styles, but I want to talk about, so Harry Styles is dropping it's not him, but Olivia Wilde, who is Harry's current girlfriend. And a lot of people will say that's alleged. I believe it. If you don't, that's your own business.
Confirmed it?
No.
Oh.
He's never, even like in all of the interviews that he did when he did press for this new Harry's House album, he never confirmed anything about Olivia, never mentioned her, nothing. So people speculate, but I think he's just a private person.
Yeah.
But Dumois has speculated that they're actually engaged, which I would believe because he always says like he wants to start a family. He wants to do this. He wants to do that. I just think, a lot of people are Olivia Wilde haters because they're jealous. Do I think Olivia Wilde is a fantastic person? No, I think she has her faults and her foibles. I think she's made some mistakes in the past.
Well, didn't she cheat on what's-his-face with Harry?
Right.
Yeah.
With Jason Sudeikis. But I just think she's the luckiest woman alive because not only is she currently with Harry Styles, she was previously with Jason Sudeikis, who I love.
They have kids together?
They do have kids together, too, I believe.
I think he didn't. So
he served her with papers while she was on stage, like promoting Don't Worry, Darling, which is the movie that we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
And he but I don't know. It then came out that he didn't know that that's when it was going to happen. And he would never like publicly embarrass her like that, which I believe because he's a down home, genuine man.
Yeah.
But so
he was so sad when
he was really sad. Well, the whole show, Ted Lasso, is like, have you watched it?
No, not yet.
Oh, you should watch it. It's really good. But the whole show is basically like an homage to his divorce, like and how sad it was for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I do love him.
It's really, and it's very funny. It sounds sad, but it's a really funny show. It's very good.
It's like been nominated for a bunch of Emmys.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde met on the set of this movie called Don't Worry, Darling. And just to give you a little, 2 of the trailers have dropped so far. If you have the means to go watch them, I definitely recommend it. Yeah, because they're fantastic. And the movie looks great. It's with Florence Pugh, who I'm obsessed with. Like Florence Pugh and Harry Styles are married in this movie, and I just cannot think of a better looking couple.
No, they're like... And is it supposed to take place?
So it's supposed to give off the vibe of Stepford Wives meets Truman Show.
Got it. Okay.
With like a little thriller.
That's kind of what I got.
Yeah.
It gave me, remember Pleasantville?
Yes.
It gave that,
Pleasantville
but like
vibes.
more mature
and
like kind of like Black Mirror vibe.
Yeah. So there were rumors on Dumois that this movie, the Don't Worry, Darling, there were rumors on Dumois that Olivia and Florence were feuding because of like how close Harry and Florence got during the filming of the movie.
I've seen TikToks about that.
Yeah. And Olivia like held it personally against Florence is what I heard. I obviously don't know if that's true or not because I don't know these people, but that's what I heard. I heard that she took it like quite personally. But apparently this is the movie that brought Harry and Olivia together. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but it's also Chris. Which Chris is that? Chris Pine. I love Chris Pine.
Me too.
He's probably my favorite of the Chris's, which is an unpopular opinion because everybody loves Chris Evans, but I'm a Chris Pine girl. Oh. Chris Pine is in it. Gemma Chan, who I love. Yep. I love Gemma Chan. So it's going to be a star-studded event. It's coming out in September, and we all know I'm like a huge wimp. I don't watch anything scary. I won't even watch Stranger Things because I think it's scary, but I will be seeing this movie, thriller or not. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, it'll be good. It looks good.
Just solely for Harry Styles and Florence alone.
Costuming.
Me too.
Yeah, I love it.
But so it's supposed to be really good too. Like the reviews that I've read have been really good.
Fun stuff.
So we shall see. But anyways, for the 3rd time, let's go back to the Bravo of it all.
Where do we start? Jen Shah. Let's just dive in.
Jen Shah's going to jail.
She is going to jail, guys.
She's going to jail for a long time.
Yeah, I think she's going to get an example made out of her bad.
No, and like, where are all the Jen Shah girls now? Where are they? Because they were riding hard for Jen, and now all of a sudden,
it's like crickets. I always knew she was going to jail. Like, I knew she was going to jail.
Me too.
But, like...
Well, it's like I always thought Erica was going to jail, but where's that?
Oh, I didn't think Erica was going to jail. There's, like, really nothing they can pin to her.
Yeah,
it was all under... Like, whether she knew or not, like, morally corrupt... Yeah.
The morally corrupt Faye Resnick, yeah.
You know?
The morally corrupt Erica Jane.
But, like, it's not like it's not her law firm. She just benefited from it. But Jen Shah straight up stole from people. And that is... Bad. From, like, old people. Old people. Like, so if you didn't know, she basically worked for, like, a telco company that, like, sold, like, this, like... not like sold basically like a fake product to other, like sold data to other people to sell, to like cold call these like old elderly people and people with disabilities to kind of like bamboozle them into like giving their credit card info for like whatever this service. And then like the service was not real and they were just collecting money from them month over month. And Jen Shah was the one that like sold the like corrupt data to these companies. And like that, like, fully.
And she was fiending her innocence. Like, she was like, I am innocent.
For the last, so basically what happened, season 1 wrapped, and then they immediately started filming in March, and like halfway into filming season 2, Jen Shah gets tipped by someone that the feds are coming for her, and they like stop. They're about to go on a trip, and she leaves, goes into another car, and like basically said that her husband was having like a blood clot and had to run to the Salt Lake City hospital. And then the feds come to Beauty Lab parking lot, which is Heather Gay's esthetician business. And they're like, we're here to see Jen Shah. And they're like, what the fuck? And it's like mess from there. There's a Hulu doc about it. And yeah, so she's been...
I actually never watched the Hulu doc. Did you?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
What was better, that one or the Housewife and the Hustler?
See, I liked the Erica one, it was crazy. Because I didn't realize like how, like, orphans and widows.
Right. Yeah,
like,
of course.
Crazy.
Yeah.
This one was like, it was sad. Because they like could talk to like some real victims. And I kept thinking like,
that's awful.
What if this looks like my grandmother?
Yeah.
You know? Cause like,
no, it's like those like calls where they like, you see it on the news and they'll call old people and it's like, hey grandma, it's me. I need like you to wire me $500 right now.
Stuck in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
It's like, please. That's like my mom on like online dating now. I'm like, anyone from Pakistan, like they don't need your money. She's like, I'm like,
they're not a prince.
Yeah, seriously.
They're not a prince. Oh my God. That is so true.
I can't. But yeah, so Jen Shah was supposed to get have her trial was supposed to start last week.
Yep.
And in a last minute flip, she finally pled guilty. And now she just gets her sentence. Like,
it's what she deserves.
In September, I think now.
Yeah.
So she will not be at BravoCon, unfortunately.
No, she will not be at BravoCon. You really hate to see that.
I hate to see it.
But justice has been served, and she's getting what she deserves.
And the cameras were rolling the entire time.
That's juicy.
Yep. And
wait, there was something else that just happened that the cameras were rolling for, and I was like, oh, that's going to be good.
Tom?
Maybe.
Schwartz and Sandy's.
Yes,
or
maybe.
Schwartz, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Schwartz and Sandy's. Or
their new restaurant, and Katie was at the premiere.
Really?
Yep. And her new single, Katie Bob. Yeah. It's like giving very early.
It's not even a lob, it's a bob.
Yeah, it's giving early Vanderpump Katie. I'm hoping Tequila Katie makes an appearance in season 10.
Wow.
We have James and Raquel. They broke up at the reunion. James has a new girlfriend now.
What?
Who else broke up? Lala is done.
And
and Randall just had that whole expose dropped about him.
Yep. Did you see something that I love is that she had a tattoo that said Rand, and she covered it up by like adding letters to
brand
it.
New.
It says brand new, and I think it is amazing.
Iconic.
Absolutely iconic.
Even though she is selling Amazon Prime clothes.
Yeah, she is, and that was an exclusive that you heard here first. So.
Yep. So. Yeah, Vanderpump kicked off season 10. We have 3 new cast members on Summer House confirms now.
Yep. And I've seen some pictures of them not recording. What's the word I'm looking for?
Filming,
thanks.
Yep.
I'm thinking recording because here we are recording a podcast.
We have a new foreign model. I don't think he's Italian like Andrea. I think he looks more Latino. I follow him, but I haven't done more digging.
Yeah.
So we have a new eye candy and 2 new girls. And one girl's really young.
Really?
I want to say
That's weird because Kyle's like 50, so.
Yeah, she just turned like 24, 25.
Really?
Uh-huh. And she went to Elon. I have a couple mutuals with her.
Really?
Yeah. And then one girl looks really freaking cool, and she like gives me like a mix of like Sierra and Paige. And I think she'll do
cool.
really well.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that'll be good.
So excited about Summer House.
Yeah.
For our Beverly Hills girlies, and if you're a Kathy Hilton stan, this may be devastating. This is going to be tough for us. The mid-season trailer just dropped, and it's looking spicy. Aspen.
And we've been hearing rumors about Aspen for a while now.
January.
Yeah. That something happened in Aspen and some shit went down
with Kathy, and it's going to snowball into all of Rinna's cryptic post.
But I have something to say. I feel like even in the trailer, and we'll post the trailer for you guys because it's juicy. But I feel like even in the trailer, they are trying to give Kathy a good edit. I really do feel that way.
I think Rinna's done. After this season. She's not on the list for BravoCon. People who are going. She hasn't been on Watch What Happens Live this season.
Wow.
Garcelle's been twice. Sutton's been twice. We've seen Erica once. We've seen Dorit once.
Garcelle is the future of Beverly Hills.
Oh, it's the Sutton and Garcelle show now.
I was not a fan. I'm actually still not really a fan of Sutton. I'm sure she will be redeemed in my eyes eventually.
Why don't you like her?
I don't know. Like, I didn't like Dorit to start either. Like, Dorit, just everything about her annoyed me.
So I don't like Dorit to start either. But then once I got into her like fantasy of like the glam of it all, and I put myself in, like, I love her.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. No, I like her too now.
I think the robbery.
Yeah, I think that was something a little.
The math ain't math in there.
I was just gonna say something ain't adding up in that scenario.
So we'll see what happens there. Ain't mathin'.
No, truly, I totally agree with you. So I think that's going to be interesting. But no, I never really felt it from Sutton. Like, I just thought there was too many instances right off the bat where I was like, either like she needed to reel it in between like the ice roller on her face.
She's just kooky.
Like, she's a little kooky. And somebody called her kooky and she was like, okay, ugly leather pants. Like, girl.
Well, yeah, those pants were ugly.
I liked the leather pants.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Sutton. I think she's funny. I think she
has grown on me.
I think she's her and Garcelle are like the only two that like.
But I loved when Crystal clocked her, like read her for filth and was like, because she said something and she was like, oh,
Tell me you're a girl that says you don't see color.
Yeah, and she was like, well, I don't see color. And Crystal was like, well, then you don't see me. And that's a problem. And I was like, yes, Crystal, get her.
Which totally. But I think like Sutton is like not to make excuses for her, but she is from like deep south. Like she's not.
No, she didn't know any better, and Crystal taught her better.
Yeah, and I think Sutton
that was Crystal's point.
Receptive to it, and like I think that's why she's not canceled in my mind because she was receptive to what happened. At first, she was not, but then she took a step back and realized that what she did was obviously wrong. It's the same way like what Kyle did when like she was like Garcelle didn't pay me for that charity thing.
Yeah, because now I'm Team Garcelle till the end now.
Same.
Like
we gotta support our Boston girls.
The rest of you bitches can scramola.
Mm-hmm. You know Garcelle's from Peabody?
I actually didn't know that.
Well, immigrated for like when she came from Haiti.
Yeah.
They settled in Peabody.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
She's a Boston girly.
Garcelle, come on the pod. A little local townie.
Caroline on Dubai is from
Really?
Newton. Yep.
Oh wait, I think my mom told me that.
Yep.
Mom, can you confirm if you told me that? Because I think you did. Yes. I think my mom mentioned that.
Yes.
And then so now while we move on from that, we have a couple just rapid fire things that we just want to mention.
Some like hot items.
Some quick hot items. That
we asked like when we thought we were going to be recording last week until we realized her foot was. We were just out of commish.
We were out of commish. There was too much going on here at Hedge Better Incorporated.
So some hot items that people dropped in.
My husband mentioned this one, and then actually a bunch of other people commented it too, but wanted to talk about the telescope pics that came out from space.
Yeah.
And I have something to say. I will not be talking about it because space scares the shit out of me.
Okay, so which leads me to my favorite poll. Are you more afraid of deep space or deep ocean?
Deep space, 100%.
I'm more afraid of deep ocean. Because you know why? That's here. We are next to that. Like space, like we're never fully going to explore how deep we can get. why can't we do that with the water that we drive on?
I get that. And I respect that point of view. I do. But here's the thing. It's been a long time now. And if something was going to come out of the ocean that like we should be worried about, it would have.
Well, let's talk about the shark trackers. Have you seen those TikToks? About the guy who's basically, so there was a shark that was tagged years ago. And like you can follow the patterns. Like this is a prelude to Shark Week. I think that's next week. So there's this one shark that was tagged, and like you can see how they like traveled for like the last couple years, and then one day it's like way off path, and it's like a huge great white, and it's in like cold water. And do you know like what the megalodon is?
Yeah.
So the guy's theory, and I believe it, that like the megalodon ate the shark, and we're still seeing it float around because it's just like sitting there, the tag. Because it's like the way it's, I'm going to find this TikTok and send it to you, and I will post it. Because it is, I'm like, no, points were made. And I'm like, deep ocean, there's no light down there. You know how many crazy fish are down there? That is so scary.
You sound like a tinfoil hat person right now. You really do.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm not going like in a scuba tank. But like, honestly,
I wish you guys could see my face right now.
If there is something in another world, in another universe, I'm like, take me. I'd go there. Like, get me off of this. Did you see the post I posted that was like, this might be our coldest summer?
Yeah, I did see that. I'm a hot weather girly, so
What?
I mean, obviously, I'm not.
Lizard. You're like a lizard.
I'm anti-climate change, obviously, but I always say if it weren't so like old people-y and politically different in Florida, I would if it gladly,
wasn't its own universe and its own.
Exactly. I would gladly move there because I love the warm weather, but I don't want to move there because there's so many old people, and no offense to the old people, but offense to the old people.
Yeah, they're only
there's
great
so
on,
many of
it's
them.
only great on April break.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why, so I wouldn't want to move there because of that. And I wouldn't want to move to California because I'm too afraid of the San Andreas fault. So
what was that like California falling off the face of the earth?
Yeah, I'm actually afraid of that.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
Yeah, totally
horrifying.
Yeah, so that's why I would never move there. So Massachusetts is good for me. That's why I like it here. It's
we get the one heat wave a week in a month. Like I'm like,
but this is actually, it's like, and I know it's because of climate change, but it's been a warmer summer than we've had.
Well, yeah, last summer was like, July, I thought we were going to have to build an ark. It was like raining every day.
Yeah, so we've been, the weather's been nice. But anyways.
But yeah, so deep space, those.
Nope, I'm team more afraid of space than I am of the ocean any day of the week.
Yeah, the pictures are crazy. Science is crazy. Believe in science.
So true.
Next one. So I know you're not a Stranger Things girly, but...
No, but I love the drama.
You're a Doja girly. So
I am a Doja girly.
So Noah, how do I say? I always want to say
Noah
it like Schnapp.
Yeah, like beach schnapps.
Yeah.
Noah Schnapp.
Noah Schnapp, who plays Will on Stranger Things, kind of like exposed Doja for sliding into his DMs to get in touch with the actor who plays breakout Stranger Things star Eddie Munson. And
what's his name?
That's his character's name. I don't know his real name.
Oh, okay.
But he's so cute.
He is cute. I've seen the videos.
Like the trend right now, another thin
Chrissy,
little white boy.
up.
Yeah.
That's him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, you would be horrified to know, like, it's like the cutest song on TikTok, but like
don't like this.
The scene that it's played on would give you
I've
like
heard about
nightmares.
It. Yeah.
So Doja basically goes on Instagram Live and is like, he's a snake, the little Stranger Things boy, and like reading him for filth. She lost 200,000 followers because of it. Because people were like,
and then his only response was like, he made a TikTok with the Doja Cat sound in the background.
Yeah.
And I was like, icon.
And basically off DM, they've squashed their beef.
I think she was wrong for dragging him like that. He's like a little boy.
He's like 17, thought it was funny, like helping out his friend.
Calling him a snake.
Also, like, why didn't she just, like, you could have Googled it. You could have found his Instagram.
Yeah, like, call him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you have people for this.
Seriously.
I will say, and this is just kind of a note on Doja. So, as you all know, my only personality trait is that I'm a teacher, and I'm currently enrolled in my master's program to get a master's in literacy and language. And in my class the other day, we were talking about like how certain songs have been taken from like one culture and then adopted by like another culture. And it's been like people basically like taking like things from Black culture and not giving any credit to it.
Yeah, that's like everything that's popular in the world.
Like speaking of Elvis, so in my grad class the other day, I brought up the point where I was like, people forget that like Elvis's whole discography was stolen from Black people. And so I actually brought up in my class how Doja, instead of sampling In Vegas, which is the song that's like, I get it. It's like all over TikTok. When Doja does that, she actually samples the original creator of Hound Dog, not Elvis Presley, because he stole it from a Black woman. So Doja samples the original in that. And then we never saw Elvis because I didn't feel like it. And I heard it was
it's giving couch movie for me.
For sure, because I heard it was like 3 hours long. Who wants to sit in a movie theater for 3 hours? I know you're a movie girly.
I only do that for Marvel.
Right.
I would never do that for this.
I haven't been to the movies in probably 6 years.
Yeah,
honestly.
I do want to go see Nope with Keke Palmer, Jordan Peele's new movie.
Oh yeah, that does look good. I do want to see that.
You'll be scared of that.
Oh, it's scary?
Yeah.
Oh, why did I think it was not?
I don't know. It's Jordan Peele. That's Us, Get Out. You would not be able to handle that.
No. Nope. Give me the Cliff Notes, though.
I will. Our next, Selling Sunset.
Oh, yeah. Heather and Tarek El Moussa are having a baby.
And so they got an HG.
They did get an HGTV show. Yeah. So they're just going to be like, they are the biggest thirst monsters of all time.
And remind me.
Everything I've learned about them, I have learned against my will.
Because they all kind of look the same to me. Heather is not Empanada's girl, right? That's Emma?
No, that's Emma.
Okay. Who's
stole Mexican, like stole this thing from like Latin culture and like made like basically the whitest empanadas of all time.
She's from Scituate?
Yeah, allegedly she is. I don't know if that's true though.
I don't think it is. Although she
does kind of give.
Someone who is from here, because someone who follows my Bravo account and I follow them, was at a wedding with this girl, and it was in Scituate, I'm pretty sure, the venue, and Emma was her maid of honor.
Really?
A local girl wedding.
Local girl. Interesting. Wow. But no, Heather is the one who's like just so thirsty for like everything, and then she dated, I don't even know. I can't keep them straight on Selling Sunset. I also stopped watching. I never watched the new season because I was like, I don't care. But I did get my mom into it, and my mom started watching, and my mom was like all up in it. She was like, "Did you watch?"
Nominated for an Emmy.
Selling Sunset.
Selling Sunset's nominated for an Emmy.
Is this what we've become?
It's so sick.
Is this who we are?
I remember being shocked.
Oh my God!
Like best unscripted.
That is awful. That is like really
and it's
bad.
from the people from the hills, so you know it's scripted.
Yeah, of course. That is insane.
So your favorite Chris is Chris Pine. Mine is Chris Evans.
I love the TikTok. It's like, Chris Evans is an ass man.
Yeah, love Chris Evans. Love a local boy. Love that he's an ally. I love his ass.
There's some Dumois speculation about him, though, that this like whole...
That he has a fake family.
I'm not saying I believe it. I'm just saying what I heard. I don't know enough about him.
I've dug a little deeper into this. So it's rumored that it's not that he has a fake family, that a family that he's keeping like locked up. It's that he might be dating a local woman from Concord who already has a family. So imagine,
then why did he say
Captain America is your stepdad?
No.
Which is why I think it's just like scuttle within the town. I'm sure he like hooked up with a random single mom, and now like that's like the POV.
But why would he say that? So in the interview, Chris Evans recently said, just this past week, he said like, I'm like trying really hard to find a partner is what he said. Like
Call Jenny Slate. I need them back together.
They dated?
For years. I was like distraught when they broke up.
I love Jenny Slate, another local regular girl.
Regular girl.
I think she's from Milton.
Yeah. Did you watch her show on Netflix?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, she is. I really like
loved
her.
It. We need to see Marcel the show.
Oh, yeah, we do need to. I heard it was really good.
I heard it was good. I heard people were crying.
Yeah. But did you know that? So she is one of the only people to ever like get in trouble for swearing on air at SNL.
Really?
Yes. You've never seen it?
No.
It's really interesting. She, there was something else that she did that I loved. Oh, Parks and Rec, obviously.
Yeah, Money Please.
Money Please. I love, like,
yeah.
I always say if I ever become an author and now it's not going to be a secret because you're all going to know. But if I ever become an author, my pen name is going to be ML Saperstein for Mona Lisa Saperstein from Parks and Rec.
I've never done anything wrong in my life.
I was just going to say that. She's an iconic character. But anyways.
Her and John Ralphio are literally me and my sister.
Yeah.
Literally.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You're giving John Ralphio. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, she is one of the only cast members. She accidentally swore live on air during like a live episode of SNL. And she got like let go from SNL. And like, you would never think, you would just assume that would be like such a kiss of death, but she like thrived.
Yeah.
She was better off.
There are people who like got on SNL and like nothing happens after.
Right. It's like, what's the point?
And then there are people who are like shocked didn't get on SNL, like Lisa Kudrow. Like, how did she not get casted when she auditioned?
Yeah, that's so true.
There are like so many people that I'm like shocked.
Well, if you listen to, and I know we talked about this podcast earlier, but Brooke and Connor Make a Podcast is a great podcast. It's almost as good as ours. And they talked about Connor Fibula. If you follow Fibula on TikTok, Connor is like in the process of auditioning for SNL.
Oh,
and I honestly really hope he gets it. One, because he's so hot. Two, because
so hot. And we need that new
he's really
young,
funny.
That new young energy now that Pete's
I think
leaving.
Brooke is just as funny though. Like the duo of them should
her.
be. I think she's really funny.
I love Lady Efron.
She has, like,
I've loved her for years.
Yep. She has like the perfect amount of like self-deprecating like humor. Like I think them as a duo is dynamic.
Yeah, I love it. I love her.
I think they're great. So that was that. And then Chelsea Handler and Joe Coy.
Sad about that.
I'm upset about that
I'm upset about that.
Because I used to remember like when I was watching Chelsea lately.
Of course.
Like way before I ever should have been. I read her books when I was like 12 or 13.
Oh my God. Chelsea
and
lately was like a family show.
That's what she like calls her nether regions. And she was like,
that just like unlocked a memory.
Yeah. And she had like Chewy on her like show.
Chewy.
Yeah.
The best.
Rest easy.
I know.
But anyways, I used to ride or die for Chelsea.
Lately.
And Joe was like a regular on her show.
Yeah, the panel with Heather McDonald.
Yeah. I do love Heather McDonald too. But he was married for a while and then they must have got divorced and then they ended up together. But if you read their breakup posts, like, I don't know. I really want to know what happened. I'm hoping it was just them.
I think it was
space.
So Dumois posted. Oh no, it wasn't Dumois. It was another one that's kind of like Dumois, but it's more Bravo centric, and they'll sprinkle in a couple random ones. Is Bravo and Cocktails.
Okay.
And so they do the blind items, and there was one that was like, don't let her fool you. It was all him.
Really?
And he broke up with her, I read, and that like she's devastated, and that like
it did seem that she was very sad in the post,
because the post they were only together a year.
Yeah, it felt like much longer.
Yeah, but I loved them.
I love them too.
I
have hope that they'll.
I hope they get back together.
Me too, because she's like going out on tour.
He has a new movie coming out.
Yeah, she actually like plugged his new movie at the end of her.
It comes out in like 2 weeks.
At the end of her like breakup post.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope they get back together because I always liked them, and I thought that was like such a great pairing. Like
I did too.
She was such a like a perma single girly, like such a permanent bachelorette moment, and I love that she finally fell in love.
I want her because she was hosting the last couple weeks for was it Kimmel?
It was either Kimmel or Fallon.
Yeah, and I think she's ready for her return to late night. Yeah. And I would love.
Why did she go off the air?
I think E was just heading in like a different direction.
Yeah.
And she'd been doing it for so long. I think
she should go. I totally agree with you.
I want her to take. I want her to take over
for James Corden.
Yes.
I was just gonna say that. Wow, that would be amazing.
We're manifesting.
We are manifesting.
If we learned anything, we are most powerful with the mic in our hand. I got Leah Michelle on Funny Girl.
Yep. And now we're gonna get Chelsea Handler on the Late Late Show.
On the Late Late Show. He has one more year, and then the evil is defeated.
I cannot stand James Corden.
Me neither. I
can't. He always produces great content with Harry Styles, though, so I do have to kind of keep him.
I signed the petition that he can't be anywhere near Wicked.
I did see that that petition going around, and it does make sense that you signed that.
I was like an early signature too. Like, get him away from it.
He cannot go anywhere near that. I heard that. Oh well, you don't watch Ted Lasso, so it doesn't matter. But Hannah Waddingham, who is one of the characters in Ted Lasso, she's an amazing actress and she's wonderful, is apparently in talks to be in the Wicked movie as Madame Morrible. So
oh my God! All right, Wicked tea. You want to know
Yeah.
who I think is rumored to be playing? What's the lead guy?
Are they filming already? Fiyero?
You want to know who I think it is?
Oh, no. Yeah, who?
Charlie Puth.
Oh.
So
Wait, I thought he was in talks to be Bach.
Oh, I think it's the other one.
No, Fiero's like the handsome, like, big, bulky man.
Oh, okay. Maybe
Bach's
it's Bach.
like the one who's like, I want to say, I don't know. I can't
think
remember now.
Charlie Puth is one of them.
Wow, that's tea.
I think so. He's like he posted something like one day he just randomly tweeted a green heart. It was and
tea.
then he made like
Wait, but, okay.
he posted something else like a couple weeks
When,
later.
is this filming already or it hasn't started yet?
I don't think it started yet, but you know it's 2 parts, right?
Okay, get the fuck out of here with that. Why are you doing that? Like, what
It's
is
2
this?
parts.
Twilight?
2 parts.
Grow up. Ugh.
2 parts.
I think it's gonna be messy because I read somewhere that Ariana wants kids. And like, what is she gonna do? Wait until she has a kid to do this?
She better. She better.
know.
And after she drops her disco album.
I do love a good disco album.
Mm-hmm. And just think, this time next week, we'll be on
thank
we'll be on a
God.
Beyonce Eve.
Thank God. We need some good news around here.
A new renaissance is forming.
It's true.
There's a 6-minute song.
Speaking again, obviously, about my master's degree and pop culture, because somehow I'm making the two of them intertwined, even though
They have to.
they have nothing to do with each other.
No, they
But
do.
we were reading this book today called Freedom Over Me. And of course, I related the entire thing back to Freedom by Beyonce.
Yeah, how could you not?
And then I sent my professor the video of Beyonce and Kendrick performing Freedom at the 2016 BET Awards.
I'll never forget her. I'll let you finish and then I'll talk about when she
No,
did
that was the whole thing. And I just talked about how it was an iconic moment.
So when she would do that at Formation Tour, did you see that?
Of course I did.
When she's like splashing the
Yep.
water
Yeah.
everywhere, like literally like baptized.
Yeah,
It's
it
everything.
is everything.
And on that note,
we'll
leave you on a high.
Yeah, and next time we see you, we'll be counting down the minutes until the Beyonce
we'll
album.
just be hours away
Thank
from
God.
new Beyonce.
All right, well, that's it from us. Thank you for welcoming us back into your homes and your hearts after our little hiatus. But we're back and we're better than ever and we're rolling. And
Next week's episode 5.
next week is episode 5.
A full hand of
full
episodes.
hand. Oh, I'm so proud of us. That's gonna be great.
Rate,
So like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Talk of the Townies. Follow me on Instagram at Just Abby to Be Here. Follow Mike at Mike Montiel.
Yep.
At the Bravo Bottoms.
Yep.
Follow us all.
We're on Apple Music, Spotify. Follow the YouTube. We're gonna try plugging it more. We haven't committed enough to make our own TikTok for it.
Yeah.
So we're just posting
some clips
reels
here and there.
clippets on our personal. But
that's it.
in due time, we'll make another account.
We shall. You can't do it all at once, you know?
No, Rome wasn't built in a day.
It's so true. And you can't just like take over the world like that in one day.
We don't have enough time.
It wouldn't be fair to everybody else.
Abby has sewing class in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I have sewing class. I'm on my way to go sew my outfit for Harry Styles.
Very
so
Project Runway.
stay tuned for that. Make it work.
Bye.
Bye.